Hey, welcome back to B-Man School of Business. We've been talking about some of the different aspects of business and just sharing some experiences. I thought I'd put a quick video together to talk about interviewing, preparing for an interview. So just remember my mission, just to help. Sharing my experiences doesn't make me an expert. Just sharing what I know and how I think about things, and hopefully it helps at some point. So let's talk about this, preparing for an interview. Learn a little bit about the company you're going to walk into, you're going to interview, right? Know the role you're going to interview for. And if you're not sure about that, that's okay. Think about what you would like. Look into the business environment. We'll talk about that. And prepare a list of questions. One that you think you're going to be asked, and then also questions you'd like to ask. So let's just talk about that a little bit. First, learn about the company. Let's go to their website, right? So I pulled a website here. This is Bridgestone, one of the clients I work with. And you go out there, you can learn about their philosophy, their brand, their strategy. You can look at products, and services. You can go into investors. You can look a little bit at their financials if you want to look at their 10K reports and that. But you can learn a lot. Go to their website, and if you know somebody, talk to them about it, right? Learn a little bit about it, and so you know the kind of company you're walking into a little bit more, so you can ask better questions. Second thing, what's the key role? When you look at job descriptions, you can get summaries, responsibility, job skills, education, physical requirements, travel requirements, right? So it might look something like this, like an accountant, talk about basic recording and analyzing and reporting financials. You'll see different things, financial statement preparation, tax preparation. There could be a lot of different things. There's a lot of different types of accountants. Skills, strong analytical and problem solving. So you kind of know a little bit about, particularly if you're interviewing for a specific job, that could be really important that you understand what the requirements, what they think they want out of you, right? So real important. And if you don't know, if it's just more of a generic interview, then just know a little bit about what skills you have, because some questions are going to come up. The business environment. This is an interesting one, right? So we're thinking about culture, business environment. Here's the Bridgestone essence. They talk about their philosophy. So you can look at their philosophy. You can look at mission statements, vision statements, understand that. A neat thing to do is go on LinkedIn, if you have an access, and look at their vice presidents or their executives and see if they grew up in the company. Do they promote from within, or have they hired people from the outside? It's always good to work for a company that promotes from within first and then goes to the outside second, although maybe at the executive level, that's a little bit different in some cases. But understand a little bit about it. The other thing that's interesting, when you also walk into the facilities, look around and see how they take care of their facilities, right? Is it clean? Is it organized? How they take care of their facilities tells you a lot about how they think about their business. And you'll also see companies that maybe struggle profitability-wise. They won't be as clean. They won't be as organized. The furniture is really old. Maybe you can kind of tell what kind of environment you're going to get into. Doesn't mean it's bad. Just something that you need to look at and think about, right? And then the last thing I want to talk about is preparing for questions. And I would practice these if I was you, because you're going to get some of this. Like, they're going to ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself, right? It's a wide open question. Kind of think about that before you go in and think about it, right? What are your strengths and weaknesses? What are you good at? What are you proud of? And you should have something, say, hey, I'm really good at math, or I'm really good at this, or I'm really good at that. I remember a time I was hiring somebody that worked in our computer business, and during the interview, he said, yeah, I'm really good at fixing printers. And this was back in the day when printers were big and dirty and mechanical, and nobody liked to work on them. And he bragged about he was good at that, and he was. So we got to hire this guy because he's got something that we really need, right? What are you good at? Why do you want this job? That's the generic question. Why do you want it? Why do you want to work here? What is it about our company that attracted you to us, right? You don't want to get stuck going, you want to be professional and organized. And then describe a challenging situation that you've handled. This is a behavioral-based question. You'll get a lot of those. It's like, what happens when somebody did this to you or did that, or what tough situation? So have a situation a task, how you handled it, or a task, how you handled it, the action you took, and the results. And because they may say, give us a tough situation, or have you ever worked with a client when a client was mad and arguing, or when you didn't get what you wanted from leadership, how did you handle that? So think about that, because those behavioral based questions can be really tricky and catch you off guard. And then also prepare for some of your own questions. And I threw some out of here, but they're pretty generic. What's it like working here? What's it like the employees? Do you get promoted from within? And what's the average length of service for somebody here? Do you have a lot of turnover? Do people come and go? Those kinds of things. So just some things. The last thing I would talk to you about is a little bit about dress. Business professional, sometimes now business casual. Depending on the environment you're going into, you'll have to kind of look at that, find out how people dress. When we started our company, we were suits and ties. And we wore ties, and we go into the factory, we take the tie off, then we come back, we put it back on. But nowadays, it's more business casual, right? You can have a nice pair of khakis, a nice shirt, you can wear a tie or a jacket if you wanted to, some nice shoes that are polished. So, take care of yourself and be presentable and be professional, so that you really want to match people in the environment that you're working in. But wearing a suit and tie is never a bad thing. You're trying to present your best self. Anyway, just some thoughts. This is maybe one that's helpful to you that you're thinking about. I know a lot of the young men and women that I talk to, they're juniors or seniors in college and maybe thinking about a job. But even if you're in high school looking for summer jobs, thinking about this a little bit when you do an interview and being prepared, not necessarily a bad thing, right? So just thought I'd share this with you. We'll come back and we'll talk more about business and other business issues, but I thought maybe this would be something to be helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to reach out at any time. You can see my email address, and I appreciate it. Have a good day.